How did you feel your last training session here in Seattle was?
It was good. It was good. We wanted to get some work done, do a little bit of 11v11, and we got that accomplished. Have some fun at the end, play goals in tight. We got that accomplished as well, and it was a good training session.
Was there any temptation out of the dispersal draft today?
There were a couple of guys that we said, if they're available, we'll do it. I think we maybe talked to one team about trying to move up, but it was something that, if we could, yeah, if it made sense, but we weren't going to go crazy trying to get there.
Seems like Dallas is mighty deep at keeper right now.
Yeah, I'm sure they're getting rid of one guy. Who that guy is, we don't know, but I'm sure, they're either getting rid or maybe they have a trade in place for somebody, so.
Can you kind of put into perspective just the magnitude of this game, given obviously you and Bruce, then two top MVP candidates, then Clint and Landon going head-to-head, not only, coupled with the whole, winner takes all, moves on to the final?
All the subplots are interesting, obviously the, Dempsey, Landon, and, the Keane, Oba, and, all those subplots are interesting. But at the end of the day, it's two pretty consistent franchises playing off against each other. And I think that's more what it's a reflection of. I think over the last 6 years, our two franchises have probably been the ones that have continually put out the best performance. I think when you look at, points earned over that period of time, I think we're in the top two. You look at goals scored over that period of time, we're probably in the top two. So I think there's a lot of comparisons, that way. And, so it's good that the two good franchises are playing against each other.
How exciting does that make it for, the fans and also just the players being a part of such a big match?
Well, it's always exciting, because this is what you play for. This is what you work for all season. It's why you work hard. Why you work hard in February in preseason and get ready. You want to be at a point where you're playing now. There's only 4 teams left at this stage that are playing. There's whatever we were this year, 17 teams that are done, and no. 19 teams that are 15 teams are done. Yeah, my math's not good. It's economics. We're doing different things. So 15 teams that are done, and every player that's done right now would love to be still training this week and preparing for this type of a game.
Joe Roth is telling us that he thinks the biggest difference between this year and last year is chemistry. What's kind of different from your perspective about the team this year compared to maybe where you were at last year?
I just think the team came in with a motivation at the beginning of the year. So you can call that chemistry. That's certainly not an inappropriate word, but I think it's really their commitment level, their willingness to want to go after it. We added some players too who came here specifically, saying, hey, this is going to give me a chance to try and win something again. And, whether that's a Chad Marshall or Chad Barrett or, Marco Papa, all those guys, they've won things in the past, but, Papa really hasn't here in the States. But now is an opportunity for them to, they're in a club again where they have a chance to win again and they have a chance to accomplish something. So I think it was our commitment, and as a result of that, it resulted in good chemistry because the guys, pushed right from the beginning of the preseason.
Well, kind of just as a soccer lover and also as a potential opposing coach, what do you think of the matchup in the East?
It's a good matchup. It's an interesting one, because I think, New England is a little bit more of a younger team at this stage. But certainly the addition of Jermaine Jones has solidified them in midfield, given them a different look, different perspective. It's given more freedom to, I think, Lee Wynn to get forward. But New York is a team that on their good days, they're very good. Sometimes that consistency hasn't always been there, but they only need to bring the consistency over a 2-game series. So, I think it's going to be an interesting series. I think it's one where there's going to be goals, a lot of goals in that series.